for my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And my video title, you know what this video is about. Usually I'm sitting down, but for this video I have to stand up because this is a matchup against the Ravens. And I know we had matchups and division matchups, of course, against the Bengals and the Browns, but the Browns, it's kind of one-sided. You know, we always beat them. I don't know, they had a fair due here and there. You know, this year they had one. You know, a couple years ago they had one, hit the playoff one. But overall, it's just a one-sided beatdown still. And the Bengals, they had a due last year. They had another one this year, so 3 out of the last 4 matchups. But overall, it's still a beatdown. But the Ravens one, that's the one that's I feel like is one of the best rivalries. I think it is the best rivalry in all of football, and that's why I'm standing up today. And because this Sunday we go to war. We go to war against the Ravens. The Ravens will head to Pittsburgh, and we'll go to war against them in the ultimate battle on Sunday. Let me put the sword down I cut my finger off. But we'll go to war against the Ravens, and it's going to be an amazing matchup. Amazing matchup. I know Lamar Jackson will not be playing probably. Tyler Huntley will be the guy in, but it don't matter who's there. When you see a black and purple and that black and gold on the field, everybody buy into it, and they all going to play like this is the last game ever in football history. I think they go out there and leave it all on the field. Every time you see these Ravens and Steelers games, something crazy always happens. The ones last year, the ones we can recently talk about, Tyler Huntley was the Ravens quarterback, and Big Ben led the game-winning drive, and it was some crazy stuff in overtime. It was just some crazy stuff all over. Then the one before that, we seen with the Ravens going for it on 2. I thought they were going to just keep the PAT, go to overtime, went for it on 2, and they didn't get it, and we won the game. Like, that was some crazy stuff. Big Ben also had a game-winning drive that game, throwing a touchdown to Deontay Johnson. So there's some crazy things that happened. But I've been a Steelers fan since I was 10 years old. You know, playing Madden got me to liking the Steelers and the Miami Heat. Playing NBA Live and NBA 2K, I think got me to liking sports like that. Got me to sports more because I used to love playing games. I still play games now, but not as much as I played as a child. I used to love playing, and it got me into like sports world. And I used to love watching the Steelers and Ravens matchups. It was always hard hitting. It was always something crazy happening. It was always something spectacular. Like, you couldn't like take your eyes off the screen. And when you ask me like what's the first game I think of when I think about Steelers and Ravens, it's the playoff one, the AFC Championship. My boy Trevor Malu, my favorite player of all time, of all of football, like that. And the Steelers favorite player of all time and favorite player of all football. Just to see him get that pick 6 and just run it in there, and the Steelers maybe going to Super Bowl 43 thanks to number 43, just making big time play after big time play. That right there was an amazing game. And then to go on to win the Super Bowl that year was even more amazing like that. But that come to mind, and the Christmas game, of course, with Antonio Brown reaching out at the goal line and getting the touchdown for us to win the division. That right there was spectacular. Well, hopefully this game don't come down to nothing like that. Hopefully this is one of the games we can rest our nerves. But you already know it's a Ravens and Steelers game, so they're not going to happen. So it's going to be a very, very intense game. But let me go ahead and break it down to our typical stuff we do, which is, of course, the positives and the negatives for both teams and the keys to victory, I believe, in my opinion. Starting off with the Ravens, positives, of course, the rushing attack. The Ravens' rushing attack is very good. They can run the ball with a lot of different guys in the backfield. Kenyon Drake came off the streets from them really a couple of weeks ago when he got released. I think he got released by the Raiders, I believe. Yeah, the Raiders released him. I think the Raiders. It was the Raiders or Cardinals. I think it was the Cardinals at first, and then the Raiders released him, and then he just picked up by the Ravens, and he just went crazy. I might be mistaken, but I know he got picked up by them and went crazy. He had some big time games, and they just put him out there. Gus Edwards can go out there. J.K. Dobbins, I think he's questionable this week, but when he's available, he's pretty good too as well. So they have some good. Yeah, they have some solid running backs, but they scheme. Their scheme can get anybody the ball and get anybody to run. Just like how Shanahan do with the 49ers, he can just go out there and pick any back there and they eat. Especially if it's a real good back, he's gonna truly eat like Chris McCaffrey is doing right now. Another thing is their playmaking defense. Their defense do make a lot of splash plays, like getting interceptions, getting forced fumbles, strip sacks, all crazy stuff like that. The defense make a lot of splash plays. Their defense is very edgy and they're very jumpy. They try to jump the route. They try to predict things, and they'll try to make some big time splash plays. I had a defense on fantasy, and I be starting here and there. You see the fantasy points go up, all these crazy plays. They make those splash plays, and their pass rush is pretty good too, very good actually, getting home to the quarterback and making big time plays. Another thing is gutsy play calling. Coach Harbaugh gonna go out there and he gonna be gutsy the whole time. On fourth down, he's going to go for it. He's not going to hesitate. He don't care who he got on the field. Tyler Huntley on the field with him. He's still going to go for on fourth down. It's like fourth and short. He's all about analytics too. So if he see the percentage, like, hey, we're gonna go for it in the red zone. We're gonna go for it at the goal line. We're gonna go for it at the end of the game to win it. 2-point conversion. He's gonna go for it. So you gotta be ready for that and let your defense know that, hey, don't let off the gas on third down. Just because you think you stopped him, because he might be just getting little yards, so you can go for it and prepare on fourth down like that. Because Coach Harbaugh will go for it a lot. Now we go to the negatives. Of course, there's no Lamar. No Lamar is the biggest negative on their team like that. Even though Lamar Jackson hasn't, he hasn't beat us. We haven't lost to the Ravens since 2019, like that. But Lamar Jackson, you have him on the field, yeah, your best chance of winning. It's your big time player, former MVP, former All Pro. So not having him gonna take a lot off. But the Ravens, it's just to be a competitive game because both teams embracing that rivalry history, embracing the past, and just coming into, and they know what this game is about, like that. So it's gonna be still a good game, but not having Lamar is pretty bad. And another one which is I just kind of mentioned, they haven't beat the Steelers since week 17 of 2019. That was Duck Hodges playing. That was kind of like a meaningless game because we already kind of was out the playoff picture, the Steelers. And then Duck Hodges in there, and then the Ravens won that game. Anthony Robert Griffin was playing quarterback for them. That's the last time they won. 2019 was the last time they beat the Steelers. They lost to us on that one game where Minka had to break up to win the game. And then they lost to us on that weird Wednesday game with Joe Hayden had a pick six, and then some crazy stuff happened in that game. Some weird stuff happened. People had COVID and stuff like that. They had to play on Wednesday. It was a weird game. And they lost to us last year on the first game where Big Ben had the game-winning drive. The game-winning drive, and then the 2-point conversion thing. Then they lost to us the last game of the season last year as well. Big Ben with the game-winning drive again, and to win it, his last regular season game, which was perfect at that. But another thing too is a negative is the defense. They do make plays, but they're overly aggressive. If you watch some of the games, you just see Marcus Peters, especially Marcus Peters. Mostly in their secondary because their pass rush is good, but secondary they get a little too anxious. They get a little too jumpy. They be watching the quarterback. I was watching that Jaguars game they played a couple weeks ago, and the running back literally just ran a rule route. And he didn't do nothing special. He don't double move. He didn't break him down. He just ran a wheel route right past him. And Marcus Peters just caught watching the quarterback instead of just playing his own and following the running back, up the wheel route. He was trying to play like that, trying to play for the ball, and see the quarterback throw it. He jumped. He's like, oh, he's behind me. And then we seen that multiple times happen. Marcus Peters getting beat down the field, trying to get too jumpy. He's a ball hawk type of cornerback, so of course he's gonna allow some big yards, but he do make some splash plays here and there. Like that, Marlon Humphrey is more poised, but sometimes he get caught watching as well. So some of their DBs, we've seen that one game where the Dolphins kind of torched them a little bit, throwing the ball deep, and they blew a 21-point lead because their DBs was like playing. They get too aggressive, trying to jump routes, trying to make big time plays, and sometimes they can burn you a little bit. So we can maybe take advantage of that, hopefully. But that's really a negative I've seen watching some of the Ravens games this season. Now moving on to the Steelers positives. Of course, their rushing attack. We've been running the ball pretty well. Very good, actually. Not pretty well, but very good since the bye week. We've been playing a pretty good football in the department of winning the line of scrimmage on offense and on defense like that. So that's one positive. Another positive, the defense is getting into elite form. Now, I'm not going to oversell it because we're playing against the Falcons, we're playing against the Saints and stuff, but a win is a win. Like I said before, I feel like we can beat all these teams like the Falcons, the Colts, the teams we get like that, like the ones that are kind of like, they're all right. Like that, we can beat those teams like that. I feel like, but it's like some of those teams we play against, those big time elite teams like the Chiefs, the Bills. I feel like we don't have enough offensive firing power to go toe-to-toe with those teams. But maybe that can change. We get a chance to play the Ravens. I know Tyler Huntley would be the quarterback, but we get a chance to play them. We can maybe beat them. Maybe that can start building momentum up to maybe trying to break that barrier of being able to put some points, some big time points up, 30 plus up, a night and stuff like that. That'd be cool. Well, not a night, but a Sunday, not basketball. Moving on to the next, which is another positive, is no turnovers. No turnovers. I believe the Steelers haven't committed turnovers since when was the last game? The last game was the Eagles game, I think. The Eagles game was the last game before the bye. I think we had a turnover that game. But since the bye, no turnovers. I know Najee had a fumble, but they recovered it themselves. Deontay Johnson had a fumble, but they called it incomplete pass. I think so. They haven't had no turnovers. They haven't turned the ball over. Been playing clean football. And when you play clean football, you see what happened. The results. You're 3-1. You already have 3 wins. You had 2 wins over the first 7, 8. It was like first 9 games. Now you have 3 wins already. Like that. So that's how you play that type of football. You play clean, and you can run the football and get your young quarterback, chance to go out there and go through this progression and give him. Just give him something extra like that. Like he ain't got to throw the ball 45 times a game. Like that one game he gets the Bills and stuff. Just go out there and play smart football. That's what happens. You start winning. Now some negatives for the Steelers is they don't capitalize on every drive. We're seeing like many drives. They go down the field, they get to the goal line, and then they end the punt. I mean, not punt, a field goal. It's still points. We take the points because in the first half of the season, we wasn't getting any points at all. But I want to see us capitalize on some of those drives and go down and get touchdowns. Because it's some games, like these past 3 games, we really could have been blowing teams out. We could have been put up 30 like that. We could, like the Falcons game, we left some points out there. Colts game, we left a lot of points out there. That game, the Bengals game, I know we kind of fell short. Kind of got stale the second half, but we could have actually won that game. We left too many points out there. We had too many good opportunities and too many good field position spots, and we just blew it like that. Had to punt the ball and stuff. So we had to learn how to capitalize on that stuff. Another one is they lose momentum in the second half. Second half is like a completely different team. We see like all these good plays and great plays called in the first half. In the second half, we kind of lose that. Now, the last game, the Falcons, they had the ball a long time. They were running the ball. In the second half, they got back to their old selves and running it, and they had the ball for a while. So it kind of didn't lose too much momentum like that in the second half. But it's still like we're not putting up the amount of points we should be putting up in the second half like that. I think we put up 3 points last second half, and the game before that we put up 3 points. I think the Colts one too. So we got to just learn how to just go out there and just keep the same energy in the first half and second half. Just give us 10 points. If you put up 16 to 20 points in the first half, give us 10 points second half, and we good. We're gonna win. That defense we got, we're gonna win. The last one is the lack of big time plays. I know we had a big time play. We've seen some runs with Najee. Pat Fryman had a big catch last game, breaking up, but we still need more. We still need more big time plays to open up some stuff. Like talking about like down the field plays, like down the field throw like that. I know we're gonna come when we run the ball now, trying to set up the pass. And this game right here can actually get there, and that would lead me to the keys to the victory, which is the first thing, of course, is the pass rush. The pass rush, getting to the quarterback, of course, is always the key to victory, and running the football is always the formula. You can get to the quarterback, you can run the football, you're gonna win most likely. But another thing I feel like this game the Steelers can actually do is attack downfield. Like I mentioned before, the Ravens DBs, they do get caught watching, especially Marcus Peters. You can attack downfield, double moves to get Marcus Peters to jump, or get some of those DBs to jump, and then like just attack downfield, attack vertically. We can like run like a scheme, and we can run the football and win the line of scrimmage on offense, and set up our play action pass game. And Kenny Pickett has shown that he can really throw on the run. Like that, he's shown that he's actually good when he's moving and getting out the pocket and able to plant his hip and open his hip and release like that. He's been showing nice ball when he's on the move like that. His pocket passing is solid as well, but I feel like he's better when he's on the move. So him getting open like that and going downfield and like throwing some vertical shots to Deontay Johnson, to George Pickens, to Pat Fryermuth, Pat Fryermuth, the wide receiver, and just mix it up a little bit and like go vertical and get vertical with them. I think some big time plays can happen in this Ravens game, because the Ravens DBs do allow some big time plays. They make some plays and some picks too, but they allow too much, trying to bite on stuff a lot. So attack that right side where Marcus Peters at, and you might have some big numbers in the game. But that's really all I got for this video, guys. That's the video. If you would like us to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. And also, my score prediction is probably, let's see, Steelers 26, Ravens 19. That's my score prediction right there. Steelers 26, Ravens 19. I thought the Steelers gonna have a game-winning drive. Kenny Pickett, another game-winning drive. Let's go ahead and get it. I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.